You worked your entire life to get here. The mortgage is gone, the car is paid off, no monthly debt, no financial burden hanging over your head. Retirement, the moment you've spent decades working toward. So naturally you start cleaning things up. Old credit cards, unused accounts, store cards you haven't touched in years. One by one, they disappear. It feels responsible. It feels disciplined. It feels like freedom. And then something strange happens. A few months later, you check your credit score. Maybe out of curiosity. Maybe because you're applying for something. Maybe because you simply want to see where you stand. And the number is lower. Not because you missed a payment. Not because you borrowed money. Not because you made a mistake. In fact, the opposite is true. You became less dependent on credit. So why did the system react as if something got worse? Which raises a question most people never think to ask. What if retirement, the moment you finally stop needing credit, is the worst possible time to stop using it? Most people assume credit is a temporary tool. You borrow when you're building your life. You use credit to buy a home, to buy a car, to navigate major expenses. Then eventually, if everything goes according to plan, you stop needing it. That's the goal. At least that's what we've been told. The ideal ending to the financial story is simple. No debt, no payments, no obligations. And from a personal finance perspective, there's a lot of truth in that. But there's a problem. The credit system was never designed around your goals. It was designed around its own. And that's where the contradiction begins. Because the moment you stop participating may be the moment the system becomes least certain about you. Let's say you close an old credit card. From your perspective, you remove something you no longer needed. From the system's perspective, something else happened. Your available credit shrank. If you previously had $10,000 available across multiple cards and carried a small balance, your utilization ratio may suddenly increase, even if your spending never changed. Same person, same habits, different math. Then there's the age of your accounts. That old card you've had for 20 years isn't just a piece of plastic, it's evidence. Evidence that you've managed credit successfully over a very long period of time. The older the account, the more history it contributes to your overall profile. And retirement is often when people begin closing exactly those accounts. But here's the part that matters more. Imagine you're 72 years old. You decide to move closer to your grandchildren. You apply for an apartment. The landlord checks your credit. Or maybe your roof needs replacing. Maybe you need financing for a major expense. Maybe you simply want access to a home equity line for flexibility. The system doesn't evaluate the life you've already lived. It evaluates the profile it sees today. And if that profile has become inactive, thinner, or less established than it once was, that's what gets measured. Not your intentions, not your discipline, not your decades of responsible behavior, just the data that's currently available. That's why inactivity can become surprisingly expensive. Some retirees keep cards open strictly for emergencies, yet inactivity can trigger credit limit reductions or even account closures. The very account you were keeping as a backup can quietly weaken before you ever need it. And the less activity the system sees, the less information it has to work with, which creates an uncomfortable reality. The safest financial period of your life can accidentally become the least visible. So let's step back. What is a credit score actually measuring? Most people believe it measures responsibility, but that's only partially true. A more accurate answer is that it measures predictability. Those are not the same thing. A responsible person isn't always predictable, and a predictable borrower isn't always financially wise. The system doesn't know why you closed a card. It doesn't know that your mortgage is paid off. It doesn't know you're debt-free by choice. It doesn't know you've reached the financial goals you spent 40 years pursuing. What it understands is activity, patterns, consistency, participation. The score is essentially asking one question. Based on the information available, how predictable is this person's future behavior? And that's where retirement creates a strange paradox, because retirement often reduces the very activity the system depends on. The system isn't celebrating your financial independence, it's receiving fewer signals. And when signals disappear, certainty disappears with them. That's why average credit scores tend to rise throughout adulthood. Decades of activity create decades of data. But once participation slows, the profile can gradually become less informative. Not bad, not irresponsible, just quieter. And to a machine built on data, silence creates uncertainty. The uncomfortable truth is this: credit scores were never designed to measure whether you've won the financial game. They were designed to measure how reliably you continue playing it. So what's the answer? Is retirement really the worst time to stop using credit? Not because you'll suddenly need more debt, not because retirement itself is dangerous, but because retirement is often the moment people unintentionally disappear from a system that still influences parts of their financial life. The solution isn't complicated. Keep a small amount of activity. Use a card occasionally. Pay it off in full. Protect your oldest accounts. Maintain the history you've already spent decades building. Because the goal isn't borrowing. The goal is visibility. Your credit score doesn't retire when you do. And that's the strange part. Retirement was supposed to be the moment you stop proving yourself financially. The credit system never got that memo. So, here's the question. If you checked your credit profile today, would it reflect everything you've spent a lifetime proving? Or would the system simply conclude that it hasn't heard from you in a while? If this changed the way you think about retirement, let me know in the comments. And next time, we'll ask another question most people never think to ask. Until then, stay informed and keep the engine running.